Hi, I'm Louise from A2A Training, and I'll give you a brief overview of the Financial Services Administrator Level 3 Apprenticeship Assessment for version 1.3. There's two elements to this assessment: the written project report with presentation and questions, and the professional discussion underpinned by the portfolio of evidence. So in terms of the written report at Gateway, you'll submit us a short scoping document of around 300 words to let us know what your project report will be on. You'll then begin work after Gateway, and you'll have 8 weeks to complete the full report of a maximum of 3,300 words, not including appendices, references and diagrams. You'll also upload this with a mapping document to show us where it meets each of the criteria and KSBs for this assessment. So the project report should investigate a topic based on any of the following themes: a specific problem, a recurring issue, or an idea or opportunity. So apprentices are not required to implement the recommendations of the report as part of the endpoint assessment, but it must be a real work-based project done within the apprentice's role. And here's a list of example projects which are taken from the assessment plan. So in terms of the presentation and questions, the presentation itself should last around 20 minutes, and then you'll have around 25 minutes of questions and answers about your project to explore some topics in more detail with your endpoint assessor. So the second part of the assessment is the professional discussion underpinned by the portfolio of evidence. So evidence for the portfolio is gathered during the apprenticeship at any point before Gateway and should typically contain around 15 pieces of evidence. A mapping document should be submitted with the portfolio to show where each of the KSBs are met for the standard, and the portfolio is a showcase of your best work completed on programme. The portfolio itself is not directly assessed but underpins the professional discussion. Recordings or videos should be kept short and time-stamped, and all evidence must be authentic and current. Any teamwork or the use of collaborative work or AI must be clearly referenced, and we are looking here at quality rather than quantity. So the professional discussion itself will last around 60 to 66 minutes, and the apprentice can have access to their portfolio during the professional discussion. So in terms of the discussion itself, the assessor will be looking at the following themes: the financial services market, regulation, legislation, policy and procedures, digital and data, stakeholder relationships and customer service, CPD and EDI. The apprentice can refer to and illustrate their answers with evidence from the portfolio of evidence. However, the portfolio is not directly assessed. In terms of grading for this standard, there's pass, distinction and merit grades available. So you'll need to be in a room on your own to complete the online elements of your endpoint assessment. And the endpoint assessment is completed under examination conditions and can be completed from home, work or from your college or training provider. Please log in around 15 minutes early to check your connection, and always check the requirements of the assessment plan with any changes to the assessment plan adhered to. Please allow time for breaks if needed in between the assessments and time for setup and contingency. You will need to bring photographic ID on the day of your endpoint assessment, like a driver's licence or passport. And all assessments are recorded for quality and training purposes. Good luck with your endpoint assessment, and here's our email address should you need us.